This is so freaking amazing. So hopefully you can hear me and see me okay. It's 9:05. Today is Friday the 13th, and I'm showing up. I'm on camera, and I'm here because I had a slight revelation today. 3 years ago, I posted this on Facebook. Love wants to rise, not to be held down by anything base. He who loves flies, runs, and rejoices. He is free and nothing holds him back. Derive happiness from yourself, from a good day's work, from the clearing that it makes in the fog that surrounds us. By somebody named Henry Matisse. Don't know who that is. I haven't Googled or researched this person. But the words somehow spoke to me. And then I added this picture, open up and live. Can you see it? And the reason that I was struck by it today when it popped up in my news feed is that I think even back then I was giving myself hints. Hints to maybe what I was moving towards or what I was looking for. And in that quote, what I see now 3 years later, is the difference in the prison I put myself in, kind of mental prison, and limitations, and the freedom that I feel today. And I wanted to share with you what I believe is the biggest difference between then and now. And what I wrote down, because I took some notes, inspiration comes and goes, right? I think Steven Pressfield calls him the muse. He's a muse, he's a guy. So what's happened between then and now is sort of the bubble popped. What I was telling myself back then is that the love that I was researching at the time, we know what love is, and I sort of joke around when I'm teaching and talking, and I say it's the difference between pizza love and love as something that you can't even conceptualize into a word. I mean, it's a mystery in and of itself. And that's really different from the way I used to see it, experience it. And the metaphor or the way that I can describe it is it's like on one end it's roller coaster thrills that you're looking for, right? You're getting lots of ups and lots of downs, and you might be buckled in for the ride, and you got on it, you chose it, but it's really high and really low. And the difference between that and what I kind of see as a light bulb, when we generate that sense of happiness and peace and love that we're looking for on the outside, from the inside out, and it literally flows through you, it moves through your being, you become an object that illuminates. You help others to see through a darkness. And sometimes what they are seeing isn't something that they like, but that's not for me to deal with, right? The world you see is because it's the mirror you reflect, in my humble opinion. So for a very long time in my life, I really strived at climbing those mountains and getting those achievements. And I feel very, 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 very lucky that I was offered those opportunities and was able to experience those really amazing accomplishments. But not once did they really give me what I thought I'd get. And I remember specifically when I was walking the stage as I was accepting my doctorate degree or whatever. I had figured it out by then, a little bit. I had gotten a hint of it. Because I knew that getting to that wasn't going to get me to a destination. And I don't have the words in front of me, but I basically said in so many words, and I think I was limited to 50 at the time. I said, this isn't my accomplishment, this is ours, because we all did this. And I'm turning to you in gratitude, because we don't accomplish anything alone. Nothing, absolutely nothing is by our own doing within our own complete control. And I said, this isn't the end. This is just the beginning of the next journey. You keep going. You never stop unfolding. I told myself maybe that it was a terminal degree and I was done, but in reality I knew that the kind of learning that I seek is lifelong. Not to get to a place where I feel like I know enough, because the only thing that's happened in all my learning is that I realize how much I don't know. And I really enjoy that feeling a lot more than feeling like I've got it all. So for a long time, I had those roller coaster thrills. I could be confident and happy, and with a look or a criticism, down. I wasn't any longer that same person. I'm not saying I don't still want people to like me. I don't still sort of seek out, I'm just human. But it doesn't move me as much, because I guess I got to that and I looked around and that wasn't it. But when I see the sunrise, or when I watch the moon, or literally just enjoy watching when the boys are together, watching them talk. I can sit and stare at the fireplace. I mean, there is nothing that gives me as much meaning and peace that I ever achieve on my own. So that's really just the only thing. I think that 3 years ago, I was giving myself hints by what I was pulling into my world. And in those, that's my clock. In those quotes, in this one in particular, I was looking for freedom. And that freedom really came when I stopped seeing it in someone else and I started generating it from within myself. And sometimes it kind of makes me feel weird because I don't give a shit about a lot of stuff that I used to care about. But then I don't care. So the notes that I took were just that there's a difference, a real difference between excitement and fulfillment. And you can notice that. You know what that is. And that you illuminate the world. You literally light everything up within your reach. The more that is generated from within. At least that's what I believe. That's what I see. That's what I've experienced. And that's not to say that you're going to control absolutely anything that happens. But whatever happens, there is a sense of peace, a sense of stability that you can stand in. Trusting that all will be well. I am not an expert at all on religion or philosophy, but I think, based on what I've read and what I see, that I, as a Catholic Christian, and my brothers and sisters who are Hebrew, Muslim, Jews, any religion, any organized religion, can agree on kindness and compassion. And that kindness and compassion starts with yourself first. And if you're already making an impact on the world, if you're already making a difference, all I'm here to say is that that will be multiplied by 10 and by 100 or by 1,000, because it's as if you're flickering a candle compared to what you could illuminate, what you could shine. And like Jake said yesterday, give me your thoughts on the combo. And I think that the more I do this, the more comfortable I get with the little remote controls. So, I'm in my PJs, and that's all I had to say to you. And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, when I have a feeling like that, something that I want to share and say, because it's made a difference in my life, and I have a completely different feeling as I go through the world than I did then, I chicken out. David's looking at me like, don't cry. I can cry, I always cry. And I'm just happy that today I didn't chicken out. I'm here to tell you, I believe that the fulfillment is just multiplied when you can notice the difference between a roller coaster ride that you call excitement and real meaning. They come from 2 different things. One is from an accolade, a high five, a hey, you're great, you're smart, you're funny. And the other one is from laughing, crying, enjoying something just for the sake of enjoying it, losing yourself in a thing because it captures your attention. So, that's what I got for you tonight. Enjoy.